have everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And tonight, instead of a moment of silence, we're going to have a moment of positive thoughts for the Gunderson family on the upcoming birth of their new addition to their family. So, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Maybe out. We could have the roll call, please.
Yes. Mayor Velardo,
Here.
Vice Mayor Parrish.
Here.
Mr. Price.
Here.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Ms. Barney.
Here.
Ms. Cooper.
Here.
Ms. Russell.
Here.
All right. Can we get a motion to go into a public hearing for the notice of the 2027 tax budget?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Velardo.
Yes.
Mr. Parrish.
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Ms. Barney.
Yes.
Ms. Cooper.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
And Mr. Gunderson, if we can turn this over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Provided if council would go into your committee of the whole packet and look for the tax budget, we'll reference that document. So this is just a public hearing before we vote on the tax budget. I'm not sure the last time that Milford completed this. All the other jurisdictions I've worked for have completed this yearly, and really what it is you'll see throughout the whole, pretty much the entirety of it, at least the first 10 pages, you've got all of our revenues breaking down to that of the property tax, income tax, JEDs, et cetera. You've got actuals in 2025, so what we actually received, and then you've got our estimates. So why this is a little bit difficult is we're obviously only 7 months through the year, actually only really 6 months through the year. So we did provide an estimate on some of these items, and then we've got budget year 2027. And what that is basically we're taking 2026 and we might have built in, if it's a revenue, it's typically flat unless we know that there's going to be an increase. You'll see some noticeable differences, for example, with the marijuana money. This year we had an influx of marijuana money, where next year it'll drop down because we're on a regular schedule. So this is certainly not our final budget. Why this is important for us internally is this is a requirement for the county, but this sort of tees up that of strategic planning and then rolling into the actual budget at the end of the year that we will look to pass for fiscal year 2027. So I can answer any questions on this. Once again, this isn't the final budget. This is just a requirement to be sent to the county. It primarily has to do with levies, which you'll also see in the packet. All of the levies that we have, you'll have what our estimates are.
In all my years on council, we've always done this, and to your point, we've done this for years. More of a formality. Like I said, we will have a very in-depth, true budget session later on in the year. But again, these meets our responsibilities per se, so.
And I'll clarify my statement. This wasn't a requirement last year. That's the only reason why I said I'm not sure if Milford's done it in the past.
So it's an estimate and it's a requirement, just making sure from an educational standpoint, I understand what we're talking about, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep,
Is this the time for questions?
certainly.
I have a few. There was a CRA reimbursement in 2025. Was that just a one-time kind of thing, or what?
A lot of that has to do with the incentives that we had at that time. So as CRAs fall off, then naturally the payments fall off. Also within that line item, we've got that local, so basically the Milford property tax component. We had a local incentive. So if someone built a building, we were able to, through an agreement, abate their property taxes for just the Milford portion.
Okay.
So those are starting to roll off as well. Next year, for example, that will make the budget. I think we only have one or two more
Right.
that are active. So that is why there's a little bit of a fluctuation.
So I was just trying to figure out, how many months of operating expenses do we have in reserve? Is that like, are we comfortable or how? Just looking at financial health overall.
So, I can't give you that number off the top of my head, but
Ish.
we've got, we're well above the GFOA standard, which I believe is 20%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
okay,
What is it? 16%.
16, okay. And I was just looking at the debt service. The biggies are the real estate acquisitions, FCC and fountain specialists, and then sewer and water. Are those kind of,
Yes, we do have some in storm. And if you look at, and council got this in their budget packet, and you'll get it again this year, but you'll see starting in like 28, 29, a lot of our water and sewer debt drops off. The FC Cincinnati debt, that extends past that timeline, but once again, that's paid through that hotel tax.
okay,
And so far, we've actually built a reserve balance in it, so that's really paying off. I think we have a little over 100,000 maybe in that account. But those are primarily our biggest
okay.
debts.
I was just trying to look at that. It looked kind of high-ish, but maybe not, because you say some of it's coming off.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it high. I
Okay,
think
that's
some
what
of
I'm
it's
asking, I
dropping
think.
off. I don't want to say we have a ton of capacity in terms of debt, but yeah, a lot of that is certainly between now and 2030, a very significant amount of that is dropping
Okay.
off.
And is 27 the last year for the park levy?
Excuse me. In order for us to continue that levy, that would have to go to the ballot for the first time in November. I think you can miss it twice before you actually start losing revenue, so we could go another time, so you can go twice. But yes, that, in order to keep it moving, it would be on the ballot in November.
November of 27,
7.
right, not this November. Because we
Yes.
collect 27 for 28.
Yes, yeah, right,
Yeah.
yep.
So not
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
okay, that's what I was
Yeah, we
wondering.
would collect it,
So I thought, why haven't we talked about this yet?
yeah,
Yeah.
because theoretically,
The
even
year
though it's.
behind?
Yeah, it's a year
Okay,
behind.
okay.
Is that right?
No. This
This
year?
year.
I thought,
Okay.
okay.
We would still have collections next year, but to keep it going without interruption, it should go commission.
When's the deadline for getting that on the ballot?
It's like August
Something in.
5th, 6th, around there, early August. It would have been the same time frame as petitions for
Yeah,
council.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know if you
I
recall.
mean, that's like in a month.
Yeah,
And this would be, what do we call it, a
it'd be
renewal?
wow, I mean,
What,
if we wanted to continue it under the
continuing.
exact same variables, it would be a renewal, correct?
Are there reasons for it and against it?
Yes, I think there's probably a list for that. For it being that of, we've got items within 5 points that still need to be funded if we're going to make it what was originally on that rendering. We don't have the revenues within our funds to really support a lot of those efforts with what was originally presented. The cons is certainly that's a tax on the residents.
That
Even
they're
if
already paying?
they're already paying, certainly, but they're paying something. So that would be a con. But once again, I firmly believe that if we're going to make 5 points the park that we originally presented, I say we, it was before my time, but we as a city presented, there's no way we do that under our current funding without that
So
levy.
there's a need.
and the master plan, it said on those drawings, it will be in 3 phases based on funding and levy approvals. Phase 1 was constructing walking paths, a farmer's market, water features, landscaping, green space, and an outdoor performance area, slated for fall of '23. Phase 2 will add a pavilion, and Phase 3 will feature the installation of a clock tower.
That's what was voted on. So,
Right, well, we weren't clear before, but then I actually found it. So Yeah, when do we do that, or
Well, I mean, this,
are we, or is that part of this conversation, or is a whole nother
I think it
conversation?
absolutely can be part of the discussion. It's part of the budget.
Mhm.
And it's something that we'd have to act on. Now, our next meeting is August 18th, so if that's something we decide to act on, we would have to, call another special meeting.
Yeah, you have to, public meetings, I mean, there would be more, and we could also then, you could have the meetings between now and the end of the year, and then put it on in the May,
Primary ballot.
primary. Yeah, you could do that also. And that would give us time to really vet out truly what the public, I would think you would want ample time for the public to weigh in on if they want to continue it or not.
It just feels like something we should have been kind of prepared for.
Oh, I think it
We
just.
are? Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess it's your perspective of, if you're okay with what we've done so far, or we, are going to go to the voters and ask them to continue it.
Right.
So I can tell you from when I campaigned, one of the questions I received from the Igniting
Connections.
Connection group was, what's the status of 5 Points? I had no idea what they were talking about. And I basically tried to tell me, well, what are you looking for? And they couldn't give me the answer. Well, now I'm finding out. So there's clearly an expectation to finish that project, and the sooner the better.
And I also think too, right, now is a really exciting time for our parks for a lot of different reasons, right? So I think we should move forward with talking to the public and seeing how they feel about potentially continuing that levy on to deliver not only on what was originally envisioned, but, again, I think there's a lot of great things going on. So I personally, from my viewpoint, makes 150,000% sense for us to go ahead and move forward with those type of meetings. I don't necessarily think that we need to call special meetings and rush this on to November, but I think it makes sense to take our time, make sure we're having a constructive conversation with the constituents, and then figuring out what may need to go on that primary ballot from a
I can't believe that park was jam-packed on the 4th.
Yeah.
It was just really something to see with the fireworks. Like, it was the dream.
And it's been that way for the last, 3 or 4 years since we put that park in for the Sparks, and you're talking about
Yes.
the Sparks
Yeah,
event,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No.
So to ensure I'm on the same page as council, is it council's wishes that we schedule and it can be part of a regular council meeting, but a special public hearing specifically for that 5 points, or do we just want to bring it up at the council meetings, and if people want to show up, then they can come to any
I think we
meetings?
should have special, I think
A
we should
public
have
hearing.
specific.
I think-
Yeah, be
Yeah.
specific so that
Everybody
everybody
knows about
knows
it.
what we're gonna be
Yeah.
talking about, and they have a chance to make plans to
Yeah,
attend
yeah,
and contribute.
yeah.
if
And
they
I
so
would
choose.
see multiple on, I would not even be opposed to having one daytime one and multiple night ones, so,
Okay,
yeah.
noted.
Love that idea.
And this is 5 points we're talking about, totally.
Well, continuation
For
of the
the
park
levy,
levy.
for the levy, right.
Great.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we weren't gonna do anything else.
So now that we understand where we're at on talking about continuing the levy, as far as the tax budget that we're talking about right now, getting back to that conversation, what has to happen from council tonight? Again, this is an estimate, this is a requirement from the county. What are you coming to us and asking us for, I guess?
So what council has to vote on tonight is simply just accepting the tax budget so we can submit it to the county.
Okay, is that something we'll do during committee of the whole, or is that something that should be happening at
Committee
the
of
end
What
of
we
the
have to do
public
is
hearing?
community
Okay.
Yeah.
as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the public hearing is just part of that process, so that way if anyone from the community would like to discuss it as well. But that will also be discussed during committee of the whole.
Excellent.
And the big change from this year to next year is the marijuana fund.
That's one of the biggest changes. I would say probably the biggest change. You'll see income tax, it looks like it's up quite a bit, but really that has to do with the fact that we split it up previously within different funds. So that's why it's going up about, well, quite a few dollars. But that is certainly the biggest change there. Everything else is rather flat.
Just for,
What's the reasoning for the decline in investment income?
Yeah.
Investment income is we don't invest in stocks, we invest in just bonds. So as the return goes down, then just
Okay, so it's just going
naturally our
down
returns go
year
down.
over year.
Correct.
Anything we can do about it?
We did it last year. We actually switched investment companies, so we're able to reduce the monthly charge for keeping investments in that particular company. And we've been able to be successful. I think a lot of it has to do, 4 or 5 years ago, really 4 years ago, you could put money in the money market and make 5%. We don't have that option anymore. It's a lot lower. So, we are keeping up with the rates, certainly. It's just the rates have gone down.
Okay.
And just so council and the public is clear, every other one of jurisdictions are doing this, it's a state law requirement. And this is essentially your justification to the county for why you need the levies that you're passing and the money that you're spending. You guys will do the operational budget in and I'm not saying this discussion isn't valid and good, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying this process is to submit to the county required by state law so that you can justify what you get from the county. The operational budget, when you guys will do all these, will come back in November, well, whenever the city manager, presents it to you.
Any other council comments? I'll open this up to any public comments specifically and only about the tax budget.
Will I be limited to speaking only once this evening?
No, just
Okay.
this for the public, this is strictly for the public hearing on the tax budget.
Yes, I have a couple questions.
Just for the record. as
Rachel
you know.
Richardson, I live in East Milford. So you addressed my question about the cannabis revenue, but I believe it's on page 5. There's a line item for miscellaneous revenue, and in 2026, it's listed as $760,000. 2027, it's listed as 0. I'm just curious what that item is, because in 2025, it's 2,100. So it seems to be kind of all over the place, and I'm just curious what that line item is for.
Sorry, what page?
It's on page 5,
Page 5,
under,
Other
miscellaneous.
financing sources.
760,000, I think was that PFAS.
under-
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's the PFAS, so now we just switched, we moved that to the water fund.
okay.
And when I say PFAS, being PFAS settlement funding.
And then turning to page 10, transfers out of the general fund fall from about 4.21 million in 2026 to 2.48 million in 2027. So it's about, a difference of like 1.73 million. So I just want to know if you can explain, which funds receive those transfers and what projects or purposes they support.
Yeah, so the transfers, why that was significantly reduced is because we were subsidizing our water and sewer funds significantly. We completed the rate study last year, and that allowed for us to reduce that transfer and have those funds self-supporting. Of the funds that we transfer out of, predominantly it goes to cemetery, streets, parks.
So you're saying that those funds were not as self-supporting in the previous 2 years, but they have now become self-supporting?
Absolutely,
How have they become self-supporting?
because we completed a rate study. And now
Increase the
we
rates.
have,
Increase the rates.
that we have revenues that support the expenses.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other public comments on the tax budget? Seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn our public hearing?
Motion to adjourn public hearing and return to regular council. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that brings us to our first presentation. Since Benjamin briefly talked about PFAS, we're going to talk about PFAS. Yes.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm John Crinks. I'm with AECom, or a consulting firm. We were retained by Milford in it's probably about the beginning of this year to do a study to investigate a couple of options for removal of PFAS at your at your water treatment plant. So it sounds like you're at least familiar with PFAS in general, but just wanted to give a quick introduction to what the current regulations are for, actually these are federally mandated regulations that were just modified through the Safe Water Drinking Act a couple times in the last 2 years, but these are kind of officially in effect right now. So right now it's, so PFAS is just a generic term for a very large compound, or a very large family of chemical compounds that are in a lot of manufacturing products. And the two that are regulated in drinking water right now are PFOA and PFOS. And those are required to be in compliance for drinking water facilities in the United States by April of 2031. And just some sampling data that you've had in the last about 4 years or so. In the finished water, definitely a few hits that are above that contaminant level for PFOS. See some there, whatever, 10.3 to about 7.8 for a couple times, and then as low as 5.3. So certainly regularly exceeding the maximum contaminant level for PFOS. So you certainly need to do something about that in your drinking water to meet that compliance deadline before 2031. So just a quick, just high-level overview on your water plant. I won't make this technical at all, but there's really no ability for the existing water treatment plant to remove any appreciable levels of PFAS, including PFOS or PFOA or any of the families in that, or any of the chemicals in that family of compounds. So the treatment options that generally are capable of removing PFAS compounds very effectively is one is granular activated carbon, the second one is anion exchange, and then there's a third kind of family of treatment compounds that are membrane systems, so that could be like reverse osmosis or nanofiltration or electrodialysis. And that's kind of it as far as scalable technologies right now that are available for drinking water applications. And then of course, beyond treatment, there's some other options that communities have gone to, whether it's regionalization with another water supplier, like in this case would be someone like a GCWW, or if it's viable to move your actual source of raw water, like in this case it'd have to be drilling new wells and finding viable wells. That could be potential options if those exist, but for this study our original scope was to not consider any kind of alternatives like that. Okay, so the first alternative and we just submitted this report, I think it was in probably early May or so, or mid-May, and had got a couple comments back from the city, and we'll get the final version here issued shortly. But the first one was this granular activated carbon, or GAC alternative. So just a couple kind of big picture improvements that are associated with that. You have a lower level of the water plant that has some old abandoned cans that were there for pumps. We put new kind of GAC feed pumps in there, pump over to a new building that's located either adjacent to or in place of an existing little utility garage that's out there. It would be the picture on the bottom is these two like GAC vessels that are in there, and kind of the overall project cost for at least construction for that facility would be about $6 million. And that is at an annual operating expense, and that expense is largely just in the replacement of GAC once it gets exhausted. It's about $75,000. So to put that in perspective, the plant currently spends about $250,000 in chemicals and electricity right now. So it would be a fairly substantial increase, obviously, but not doubling or tripling the expense. And then there is kind of this benefit of GAC is that it does remove volatile compounds, which are also present in your drinking water supply. You have processes to remove those right now, but in the event that those are ineffective, it does kind of add that benefit as well. And so the second one was the anion exchange alternative. It's almost the same thing as far as what the system looks like, kind of how it's implemented. If we put new pumps in the abandoned cans, there's a new building that's over kind of in the same location as the proposed GAC facility. You have two ion exchange vessels. This is a little bit smaller, more compact system, so the building's a little bit smaller, equipment's smaller. So that is a slightly lower cost of about $5.9 million. But with the preliminary projections we ran for regeneration and replacement of media, it was a little bit more in operating expense, so about 83,000. But kind of big picture between the two, with a preliminary study like this, you could say it's virtually a wash, or they're equivalent as far as costs. So just big picture path forward. Either option perfectly fine, very very capable of removing these PFAS compounds to limits that are mandated. We're generally recommending GAC. It's a little bit more widely implemented, just because it's a kind of a longer history of use throughout the United States for not only PFAS but for organic compounds in general. It's a little bit easier to handle and dispose of than the ion exchange resins. So we're generally recommending that. And then so in order to meet that compliance deadline by 2031, just thinking of these steps kind of backwards. So construction probably needs to start by about the fall of 2029, just assuming about a 18-month construction period. So which means you have to get bids for construction advertised before that, so mid or early 2029, which means the design completion has to be done by then. So if it takes a year or a little over a year to do some initial piloting and design, that probably means you want to get started on design of the facility by the end of 27. So certainly some time, but not a whole lot of time in the grand scheme of how long some of these projects might take. So something you should really start thinking about. And of course, there's a lot of potential funding sources available. So a big one that offers some principal forgiveness, which is effectively like grants, is the EPA Water Supply Revolving Loan Account. You have to do several application steps for that, and it does require a regionalization study. So you have to effectively demonstrate why it's more financially stable to do this yourselves than use someone like GCWW. There's the National Settlement Fund, which it sounds like you've gotten some money for that. I don't know if that's over or if you still have some coming, but that's and a lot of communities in this area are receiving that fund as well. And then there's some other kind of federal grants and loans out there. So there's this emerging contaminant grant or loans that are this bipartisan infrastructure bill that's through the US EPA. And there's plenty of options if you choose to finance it with just kind of low interest loans. It's easy to get these through someone like Ohio Water Development Authority or Ohio Public Works Commission. So that's kind of big picture, and wanted to keep it pretty simple. But if you have any questions, again, we're planning to finalize the report here in the next couple weeks, and you'll have the final version by the end of this month, certainly. So.
Now, I know every community is going through this. How many other communities in this general area are you working with?
Yeah, so we actually designed a facility for Warren County Water and Sewer Department at their Renneker water treatment plant. They had a very accelerated deadline because they were going to start serving. They were actually taking back a portion that was served by GCWW, so that was commissioned in the end of last year. So that's been running for 7 or 8 months now. We're designing a new facility for the city of Loveland right now. We're at a 60% design interval. And that's kind of the only two we're working on in this specific area. But as a firm, we're a big national firm.
Yeah.
We've done it kind of.
And one follow-up, is this any correlation to our Superfund site that we have at Baker? I mean, I know the PFAS are in our wells.
Yeah.
I get that. And I know the VOCs, we've been through that now for, I remember 25 years ago where I had to sample my water out of, every month or every other month. But is that any, correlation that we need to get that Superfund site clean before we do all this, or?
Yeah, it's hard for me to speculate because
Yeah.
I just don't know the history of that
Yeah.
Superfund. But yes, if you do have a presence of some contaminant like VOCs, it's very
Yeah.
possible that there was also a family of PFAS compounds there. But.
The only thing I'll add to that, if you go to the GAC, I believe is the one of the perks of the GAC, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that would actually allow for us to get rid of our air stripper for those 2 contaminated wells. So the air stripper takes all the harmful items out of the water from, I think it's wells 1 and 3, or it's 2 and 4. It's one or the other, but it's 2 of them. That's important because one, that's a cost, of course, for us, but two, that actually limits our capacity in terms of the treatment process. The air stripper, I think it significantly
Is
limits
it
it.
every year or every other year we have to buy the new components for the air stripper too? So we'd be able to eliminate that, right?
Well, to be fair, we haven't been running those wells until this year, primarily because of faulty equipment, and that air stripper I don't think that had been running about 4 or 5 years. So now that we are starting to get all of our operations up and running, so I can't give you that true answer, but that one, correct me if I'm wrong, the GAC eliminates the air stripper, which will increase our capacity at that plant.
Yeah,
So
I will say, it could eliminate the air stripper, but then your GAC operating expense will go up, just because it'll shorten the life of GAC. So it might kind of be a wash, and you might be better off keeping the air stripper just to not replace the GAC as frequently, or you could oversize the GAC facility a bit. But yes, kind of big picture, it will remove VOCs, in which case you would not need the air stripper for compliance. That's right.
Are we saying the wells that have been reopened are the ones that are Superfund contaminated or not?
So the ones, the wells that we've opened, they're not as good as the other ones, which is why we have to run it through the air stripper. But once you run it through the air stripper, then they are in compliance. It's just another level or another layer to that treatment process.
And that's part cleaning up those dry cleaning chemicals from the 80s?
That's a separate
60s.
thing.
That was from the 60s.
Yeah, that's a separate item. The EPA is addressing that specifically. We're getting the downstream
But
effect
what
of
I'm
that.
asking is, that well, are we using it or not?
If we have to use it, then yes, we use the well and then we send it through the air stripper, and that gets
Okay,
the harmful items out of there. And then the other thing, just for adding to the narrative, if you go to the last slide, for that settlement funds, we don't believe we'll get more than 1.5 million, so there's still going to be a significant gap. In terms of OWDA and OPWC, we take advantage of that all the time. So that's definitely something that we're eyeing, as well as WRSLA. We've looked at that for several projects, so we're definitely looking at those items. OWDA, for example, the most recent one was the water tower, the 1.4 million to get that gap.
What's the GCWW?
That's Greater Cincinnati Waterworks.
Oh, okay. And there's an option of working with them?
They would certainly sell you water. I personally wouldn't recommend any stable, like financially stable water utility regionalize, just because you lose kind of control of your rates. And
You can reach out to other communities who have done that. It's probably the worst decision they ever did. And they'll tell you that. One of the communities you mentioned. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
right, yep. So
Yeah.
unless you guys are just completely bankrupt and can't run a
Yeah.
water system, I would not recommend regionalizing.
That's kind of insane that every community has to cough up that much money.
Yeah, it's all over Ohio. It's the whole.
But we
little-
need
little
clean
of
water.
Miami. I mean, there's plenty that are fortunate to not have it, but this area for sure, there's a lot of communities that
And
are.
not that we bank on it, but invariably, that 2031 is gonna come and go.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, meaning it's gonna get extended.
Oh, well, it already
Yeah.
was extended.
Yeah, I have
but-
20, yeah, it's been, yeah. Because like I said, we have to come up with the funding. That's the
Right.
biggest thing. So, yeah.
Benjamin, you need to get creative.
We're working on it.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you very much.
Right, sure.
Thank you.
And by the way, having sat through different presentations, you did a fabulous job of keeping it very plain and simple. So
Yes.
thank you. So thank you.
I guess, yeah, if there's no other questions,
Yeah, yeah. I'll open it up. Does anyone have any questions right now? I mean, it affects all of us. All right.
Thanks.
Seeing none?
Thank you.
Thank you. That moves us to proceedings. Need approval of the regular minutes from the June 2nd, 2026 meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And another motion to receive the May 2026, and then we'll approve it at the next meeting.
Motion to receive May 2026 financial report.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. That brings us right into the soon-to-be dad's city manager, you know.
Thank you, Mayor. Provided in council's packet is the city manager report. I do want to highlight a few things. I'm sure Chief will talk about this, so I won't go too in-depth, but I did want to congratulate Sergeant Dennis and Chastain from graduating with the Supervisor Education Training Program certificate. I had the opportunity to attend their graduation, and it's a really an extensive program that really develops leadership within the police world. So I won't go too in depth, but I was very happy and excited for them. So that was a big win for the community. The city of Milford has officially received the $100,000 from the state capital budget. Last time I said that there's a good chance we're going to receive it. Now we have officially received it. We will be pushing back. My plan is to push back the pickleball installation until early 2027, which brings me to my next one, which is the downtown crosswalk safety lights. This has been brought up before in council meetings. The intersections that have no lights, we're able to cross, ensuring that we have the flashing beacon lights, and then the countdown signs at Locust and Main, and having a button to activate the lights and the signal. So that is going to be a pretty expensive project. So to ensure that we have the appropriate funds, we're going to push the pickleball to early next year, so that way we can tackle that project. That project is going to be well above our bidding limit, which means that we'll be sending that out to bid here soon, and I should be able to report back to council. State Route 28, we have started the engineering phase. I'm sure people have seen the surveyors out there. They're surveying the lines, so that way we can complete the engineering phase. We do have another issue on 28 that we're looking to address. This is something that is a constant problem. So we're hoping to get this engineering completed, get it out to bid, and start moving on this project, so that way we can get it done at once and avoid future disruptions on State Route 28. The city will be posting the street department supervisor and wastewater department supervisor openings later this week, with the first round review and the first week in August. Ed Hackmeister will be retiring from the street department, which is what caused that opening, and then wastewater promoted our department head to public works director. So I will remind council that next meeting will be a little ceremony for Ed's retirement. Ed has spent a lot of years here. His family's from here. He's done really good work for us. So I'm excited for his retirement, but also sad at the same time. And then last on the city manager report is I'm going to request a motion from council. Currently, we have a lease agreement with Control Bionics on the 3rd floor. Their lease will be up in August, and as part of our reshuffling, they'll be relocating to another facility. Their request is they're going to be moving out August 6th through the 10th, and they're asking that we waive their last month's rent due to the fact that they're not going to be here. I reviewed the contract, and it doesn't specifically say that I can unilaterally make that decision, so just to be safe, I brought it to council. So all I need is a motion to allow the city manager to waive the last month's rent for Control Bionics, assuming that there's support.
Unless anybody has any questions, I would make the motion to allow the city manager to waive Control Bionics rent for that last month.
Second.
Let's go ahead and get a roll call since it's a contractual thing.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
And the only other items is we have 3 upcoming events. July 14th at 6 p.m. we have a planning commission meeting. August 4th at 6 p.m. we have the National Night Out. And then August 18th is our next council meeting, and that is all I have unless there's any questions.
I have a question. I think it's a good idea that you're moving the idea of the pickleball courts to 2027, but is there a final decision on where those courts will be? costs or just the proposal of what we've seen?
Yeah, that's a good question. We only received, although very happy we received funding, we received 50% of what we requested, which means that either we will have to pay more locally to support both locations, or we have the option to just do one location. What I plan on doing is coming back to council and saying, okay, we've got $100,000 in grant funding. These are the two options. These are the two locations. This is the pricing, et cetera. And then from there, we can decide what that looks like.
Okay.
So to say they're finalized, no.
Okay.
Any other? All right, seeing none, that takes us to the police department report. Chief
Thank you,
Mills?
Mayor. Good evening, council. You should have before you my June monthly report, and I'll touch on some of the highlights. As Mr. Gunderson mentioned, Sergeants Chastain and Dennis successfully completed the Supervisor Education Training Program, otherwise known as STEP. That's one of 3 education courses that the Ohio Chiefs sponsor for leadership development and direction. It's intensive. It's 3 months long, 1 week a month residential. The other remaining days are spent back here still working and doing research and writing papers that are graded. And so we're quite proud of them. That's quite an accomplishment. The other 2 programs that the Ohio Chiefs sponsor are PELC. That's the next step for them, Police Executive Leadership College. It's similar in duration and format. And then the highest level of course they offer is CLE, the Certified Law Enforcement Executives course. But big step in their development for sure. I'm just going to touch on some highlights. Notable occurrences. You can see that our call records remain consistent around 1,100 calls. That's consisting of 338 directed patrols, 216 offense reports, 22 auto accidents, 138 warnings, 159 traffic citations. Our detectives were assigned 16 new cases this month. They closed out 14. They have 12 pending from previous months, made 6 arrests. Squad 4 searched for a missing senior out of Brown County after Ebola was broadcasted based on a Milford flock hit. We located that man at the True Hotel and contacted Brown County Sheriff's Office, and his family was able to get him back home that night. So I count that as a flock success. Unfortunately, you hear me preach this a lot, lock it or lose it. We had several vehicles in the South Milford and Clartoma Village areas that were rummaged through, and unsecured items, including in one case a firearm, were stolen. Officer Mattson utilized his recent crime scene training and was able to successfully lift what appears to be a good latent fingerprint, so we're hopeful that we'll have some evidence to use on that. Some administrative items. Jordan Riley completed his conditional checklist and started on June 22nd as a probationary police officer. He's currently in field training. And this is an interesting fact. We processed 50 record requests during the month. Some of them involved several months of records, and one was for a year's worth of reports. And lastly, some community relations items. I attended ribbon cuttings at 19 North, NovaCare, and a groundbreaking ceremony for the Claremont County Veterans Housing Project. You may have seen on Facebook, a young Walnut Street resident celebrated her 4th birthday by selling lemonade to support Shop with a Hero. Thought that was very sweet. And as council's aware, but I do want to put it out there for the public, a social media post was circulated by a resident that completely mischaracterized an incident that officers handled in Clartoma Village. I had a full review of the body cam conducted, and I've contacted 2 residents that were a little concerned about it and gave them the results of that, but it could not have been further from the truth. So it's just, one of the double-edged sword pieces to social media. That's all I have, unless you have some questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Brings us to Fire and EMS. Chief Miller?
I always got to raise it up so much.
Yeah.
Mine will be short. Our Unit 32, one of our ambulances, is still out of service. It's up in Elkhart, Indiana, getting repaired. We've had an electrical gremlin since we received that truck last year. But it's getting a complete workover, and it should return within a few weeks back to full service. So if you happen to see a white ambulance, I think it says Franklin Township on it, we are borrowing that unit. We're using it as a backup, so we do have a Milford unit running out as our primary right now. We also have the contractor start working on fire hydrants, so those are the ones that have been heavily corroded and layers of paint. They're being sandblasted, repainted with a primer, and then a nice bright yellow color. So if you see a gray fire hydrant, it's not going to be gray forever. We have an open house coming up on, gotta use my glasses, July 18th, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. So we'll have food, beverages, bounce house. We are going to have some baby goats. That's exciting. Fire trucks, police cars, and all that good stuff. We recently promoted Alex Baird to the position of lieutenant, and we will be having a promotional ceremony on July 9th at 7 p.m. at the firehouse. Everybody is invited, of course. And then the Firefighters Club sold drinks at Sparks in the Park this last weekend. And what was interesting to me was our total sales was $17.76.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Absolutely.
I forgot 2 items, thanks to your reminder. I wanted to bring attention to the Claremont County Port Authority. They came out with a recent facade improvement pilot program. I believe we put this online at least once, but it's $100,000 in total funding with a max award of $20,000, and the focus is downtown facade improvements. Claremont County fortunately only has so many downtowns, which means that Milford businesses are very competitive. But they started the applications, they opened them July 1st. My understanding is they're open until the funding's gone. So that's a big program. You can certainly reach out to the city or the county for more information. The city of Milford also has a facade improvement program where we will reimburse up to 50% or $5,000, whichever first, for facade improvements in the downtown. So those are 2 great programs that downtown businesses can take advantage of. So I just want to make sure I brought attention to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Brings us to council comments.
I had one, just a question on, one, I've been on the splash pad a couple times, and it is working very well. Signage, do we have that in the works?
The signs have been ordered,
Okay.
and I think they'll be here either this week or next.
Signs for the splash pad?
Or the splash pad, sorry, yes.
Yeah. What do they say? Like wear shoes or something?
Wear shoes.
Operational hours.
Yeah,
safety
operational
items.
hours, safety items. If you're really young, maybe be accompanied by an adult. Standard language, but that of just our hours are, really you shouldn't be running super fast around water. I know that happens and you're having fun, but just the standard language.
Speaking of signs, the legend looks great for Kate Albert's mural, and that got up in time. It's really good.
Any other, I only have one, just accolades to the city staff and all the community itself who came out to Sparks in a Park. Wow. I'd spent the last couple of years up at the 5 Points Park, and this year I was down below for the first time in years and was just so impressed with the amount of people who came out, the DAT band, am I saying that? DAT band, they were quite entertaining. And then I would like to see us, I mentioned this to Benjamin, is if we could figure out a way to broadcast the same music that they play down at the up to the park, because that gentleman who mixed that tape, he did it blindly. I went and asked him afterwards if he had, knew, the only thing he knew is how long our show was gonna be. But the music was spot on and really added, I think, to the whole event. So if we can somehow figure out how to be able to broadcast that sound at the other park also, I think would be a pretty cool amenity for viewing enjoyment. But again, kudos out to and accolades to our city staff who certainly went over and above on a holiday to make sure that event, was well orchestrated.
And then for the crews to turn around and have the farmer's market the next morning. That was good work.
Yeah. So yes. All right, seeing none, let's move right into the committee as a whole.
I would make a motion to open committee of the whole.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Where, can we have a roll call, please? We're going to call it to
Yes.
order.
Mr. Parrish?
Here.
Mr. Velardo?
Here.
Mr. Price?
Here.
Ms. Cooper?
Here.
Ms. Barney?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Here.
Ms. Russell?
Here.
All right, that's going to turn this over. We got just a very small, large list of items to go over.
Thank you, Mayor. First on the agenda is the yearly adoption of an ordinance that, essentially what it does is it updates the ordinances that we've passed in the prior year, so that way the most up-to-date ordinances are online and within our ordinance books. So all that is an ordinance to allow me to spend money to do that. So it's everything that's already been passed, ensuring that that's updated in our ordinances online in the book, so that way it's the most up-to-date ordinances and we're not chasing around the files to figure that out.
More of a housekeeping.
Bingo.
Unless anybody has any questions, I would make a motion, or I would recommend that the law director draft an ordinance approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as parts of the various components, codes of the codified ordinances.
Second.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the tax budget. I can run through this again, but essentially it's a mid-year budget that we submit to the county. It has a lot to do with, as the law director pointed out, our levies. It gives the 2025 actuals for all of the items listed, an estimate for 2026, and then what we're expecting in 2027. So part of this will be that of rolling into our strategic planning, which that's at the end. Don't let me forget that. And then this will be used to draft the budget at the end of the year.
Unless anybody has any questions after our earlier conversation, I would recommend the law director draft a resolution approving the tax budget for the city of Milford, Ohio for the year 2027.
Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to the purchase of 3 high-service VFDs for the water plant. This was a item that was budgeted, actually budgeted about $90,000, and they came in far less. Within the packet itself, you'll see a couple of different quotes that we received. This is needed for our water plant, and this is obviously above my spending limit, so I simply need council's approval to purchase these items.
What does VFD stand for?
Variable frequency drive.
Assuming I may have been the only question here, I would recommend then that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 3 high-service VFD from Techline Company in an amount not to exceed $42,690 even.
I think it was, is that the right amount?
71.
71.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
There's a typo there, I apologize.
Yeah.
In an amount not to exceed $71,850.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
If we can we redo that vote? It actually is the 42,000.
Oh, it is?
Yes. The 42,000 that is on the ordinance,
Can we budget at 90?
we budgeted
That's even
90.
better.
Look at us.
Yeah.
All right.
Apologies for the confusion there.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not doing the ordinance for the 71,000 and change, so I would recommend the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 3 high-yield service VFD from Techline Company for an amount not to exceed $42,690 even.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
And Law Director, for the sake of, do we need to do anything? All right.
Thank you. Alrighty, moving on, we've got State Route 28. Recently, we had a water line break on State Route 28. We were able to complete all of that internally with the exception of the paving. The paving came in at about $14,000. With that being above my spending limit, I need council's approval. We were able to proceed with that due to the emergency nature of the situation, but I still need approval to purchase that, or pay for it, I should say.
I would recommend the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the city manager to spend an amount not to exceed $13,995 for costs associated with the State Route 28 water main emergency repair costs.
Second.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to the Civi Social contract. Over the last couple months, we've had lots of discussions about social media and the direction that we want to go with social media. What does social media mean as a whole for the city? How is it that we interact with the community, et cetera? There's been a company that I've followed the last couple of years. It's called Civi Social, and the very brief background is the gentleman that owns it spent a career in marketing. He ran Bleacher Report. Once he retired from the private sector, he joined the local government side and ran for council, and recognized that there was a weakness with social media in local governments. So being that of what are the proper ways to engage in social media? How is it that you deal with some of the negativity on social media? And I've been following for the last 3 years. I even purchased a book. It's the playbook, the social media playbook for county and city managers. And I really like the organization. I really like the individual that runs it. There's been a lot of success out of this. So provided in council's packet is a contract to really reevaluate what our social media looks like here in the city. I think it does a good job because it talks about coming up with a social media plan, talks about engaging with stakeholders in the community, talks about working with council in terms of how do you react to that of social media, and that's obviously a big part of council's job is understanding how people feel. So I really believe that this is something that is in our best interest, something that will get us in the right path, and I think this is something that moving forward will prove to be a success for us as we look to continue down this path.
I'm really excited by this. I have both his books. There's one for elected officials, too. I spent an hour on the phone with him. He is the real deal. He gets it, and he is a content person. He's an expert. He's got all kinds of testimonials from people. I like his approach. He comes in, he identifies who can be telling the stories, what the stories are. He comes in and equips us to do it.
Yeah.
So he's not here for a long time, and he's pretty reasonable, especially compared to some of those options we kind of flitted with when we were looking at options besides management essentials. He also is going to include some professional development coaching. I mean, this is everything. For Benjamin, yeah. He's also going to do a session for council. But I think what I like is his approach. And this is out of, I don't know which book, either the county manager one or the elected officials, but I really like what he says. Marketing is about selling a product or service. But government already collects taxes and fees for services and isn't in the business of convincing people to pay them. The lens through which government should think about communication is how their residents benefit from the investment they've already made in their community. And he says, you know, your first audience are residents, second, local business, and third, whomever else might want to come here. And I think that's a very honest, authentic, and refreshing approach.
I have two questions. First question is, who will be involved from the city interacting with him?
I think it goes into that.
Yeah, it'll be the department heads, myself, as well as our public information specialist. That'll be the staff that are involved.
Okay. And then Kathy just mentioned that he was going to do a session for us. How are we going to interact? What's going to happen there?
Yeah, so that'll be a session with council. I don't know exactly the agenda, but it's part of his, and I'm sure it's within the book, but it's understanding the role of the community, how to interact with the community, how we are to better our communication with the community, and you know, there's times in which there's a lot of negativity online, and helping navigate some of those challenges as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I agree.
I just want to add two things that I like about this. To Kathy's point, this guy really seems to be the real deal. He's got government experience himself. I like that he talks about him coming in and working with us to develop something we get to keep at the end of this engagement, to where the city is going to be better off after he's gone. It's not talking about embedding anyone. It's not talking about being involved in stuff I would question. And he's not expecting any payment at all until 30 days after he's completely finished with us. So I like that as well. So that's all I got. Just wanted to throw that in there. Unless anybody has any other questions. I personally would recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a professional services agreement with Civisocial not to exceed $20,000 to create a social media optimization program.
Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the list is BZA Legal Counsel. The summary to this is the city had a case at the Board of Zoning Appeals with Area Development. To ensure that our law director wasn't conflicted, we hired outside counsel to represent the Board of Zoning Appeals members. As part of the contract, we had a retainer not to exceed $7,500 for that particular case. The legal bills did total more than that, so as part of the contract, and clearly my spending limits, anything over $7,500 is to go to counsel. So this is simply to allow us, this is simply allowing us to pay the bills. And I'll clarify, I don't expect much, if any, from them moving forward, as their legal counsel is out of the equation for the next steps in the process.
So what you're asking for here is permission to enter into a professional services agreement with?
Pay the bill.
Yeah, simply to pay the bill.
Wait, what is the bill?
It's the 11,000.
Okay.
57750.
Okay.
11.5, basically.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so if, what is it, 11,750?
5,750. 11,57750.
Okay.
It's 11.6.
So I simply just, need a permission to pay the legal bills for this item.
I would
You're okay.
recommend that the law director draft an ordinance allowing the city manager to pay this for the legal services in the amount specified by our esteemed law director.
Per the agreement, yes.
Per the agreement,
You got it.
yeah.
Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Very reluctant, yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mike, I remember recuse for that one. Because you wanted to recuse for that one.
Oh, because it deals with.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Recuse on that one.
Oh, I recused myself.
Can the record reflect that Mr. Brown is recusing himself?
Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty, moving on to the trash option. The city has a 3-year agreement with Rumpke for the citywide trash program. As part of that contract, the city has the ability to sign an additional option twice for 1 year. The option is important because it doesn't increase the rates, it's the same rates for that period of time, excuse me. So I need a permission from council to sign that 1-year option. And then we would look to come back next year for that last and final option to keep the same prices.
It's not very often, I think, we're able to actually save money by doing something like this, because I hate to think when we have to renegotiate this, what this is really gonna be at, so.
Yeah, this one's not gonna be fun.
Can you say that again, Benjamin?
Yeah, apologies. The city has a 3-year trash agreement, so we utilize Center for Local Government, who bids us out. We're part of a group. And part of the contract is after the first 3 years, we have 2 options that are 1 year each that we can execute, and it keeps the prices exactly the same that are part of the first 3.
Not very often we get
No.
pricing from 3 years ago.
Right. Unless there are additional questions, I would recommend the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Rumpke Waste Incorporated for solid waste collection and recycling services.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the list is Police Department vehicle purchase. Provided in council's packet is a Chevy Equinox, similar to what we passed earlier this year. It's a unmarked vehicle. We had a recent accident in which we had one of our unmarked vehicles totaled. This is a replacement for that vehicle. The insurance actually paid out about $42,000. This quote is a little under $30,000, so we're saving $12,000 by going this route. But we feel that this is adequate for our needs and ensures that we have the appropriate vehicles for the detectives.
Sorry, just trying to get to that page in the packet.
Yes, sorry, there's quite a bit.
There it is.
So that's the amount, the 29,000 and change?
Yep.
When do you ever make out from an accident with insurance?
Well,
Buy
yeah.
a smaller car.
Yeah. One, it was a newer car, so that helped,
Yeah.
but, yeah, we don't always see that side of things.
In the absence of additional questions, I would recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the city manager to purchase 1 Chevy Equinox plus necessary outfitting for use by the Milford Police Department in the amount not to exceed $29,772 for the vehicle.
Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to the power cot and load system. I know we have Chief Miles back there, but, so if there's any specifics, you can ask him. But council previously passed an ordinance that allocated all the opioid funds towards the purchase of an ambulance. This is one of the eligible uses, and this will significantly reduce the cost of the upcoming ambulance for the fire department. So what this ordinance does is it simply allows for us to cut a check to the fire department to pay this cost for the ambulance.
Hey, this is load.
I'm sorry, if
You got the load, these are separate, right?
the ambulance and the.
Yeah, those are separate.
ordinances.
I am just focused on the cot right now, and then we'll get to
Okay.
the next one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, and then, unless I'm confused, the amount that we're asking for the power cot is the 71,000 and change. Okay.
Bingo.
Does anybody have any questions about the power cot?
Yeah, what is it?
Great name for a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is truly one of the best inventions in the EMS from the standpoint of saving injuries from people having to physically pick up the cot So it's a
Okay,
power cot,
okay,
it comes
okay,
out, it's
okay,
able to lift.
okay.
And as one who used one for years, it probably prolonged my career a couple of years and prevented lots and lots of back injuries.
And this goes in a specific ambulance?
Yeah, I believe, Miles, correct me, every ambulance has a power cot now, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Great. Well, unless anybody has any other questions, I would recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a power cot and load system by the Milford Community Fire Department for the amount not to exceed $71,526.32.
Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to the next item. The next item is, I guess I'm pretty excited for this one. As everyone knows, the fire department, although we consider part of our team in terms of our partnership, they are separate. They're their own separate entity. We're the fiscal agent for the fire department, being that of we collect the levy funds, we have a contract, and we disperse whatever is part of that contract as our agreement for their services. The city has an account here locally that has around $500,000 in it, four to 500,000. We'll call it four, just to make sure I'm not too far off. That is a combination of it could be you could build that balance. So, for example, if our contract is $100 per year and the levy brings in $120, then we'll put $20 into the account. So it's really the excess from the levy funds. The fire department, we kind of indicated the last ordinance, is purchasing an ambulance. And some of the past practice has been that if they go to a bank and they finance it. Well, obviously rates are a little bit higher now. So what we discussed internally was that of, because we have some revenues in the fire and EMS count locally, if we were to loan the fire department the money for the ambulance, that would save them about over $100,000 in just interest. And this is a way that we can still utilize those funds for the fire and EMS. So I think that this is a good way to utilize tax dollars, but also save the fire department money. This is something that would be repaid over 5 years, that would go back into that account and could be utilized at another time if needed, or we just use that as a savings account for the fire and EMS fund. But the primary purpose of this ordinance is 5 years, they'll pay $75,000 to the city to recoup those costs. How this would work is if the levy, our contract's $3 million a year, say they bring in $3.1 million, they would just take the $75,000 from that additional levy proceeds and that would repay it. If for whatever reason the levy came short of that contract, then they would have to pay the difference. So if there's any excess, we take it from that to repay the account. If there's not an excess, then they would be obligated to pay that amount to the city to recoup the money from that account.
So that $400,000 to $500,000 in an account, is that levy funding?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I would absolutely recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing a memorandum of understanding with and authorizing a contribution of $375,000 to the Milford Community Fire Department Incorporated for the purchase of an ambulance.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
And I'll discuss this further during the appropriation change, but how that'll work is we'll cut a check to the fire department and they'll pay the vendor directly. That way it's just a little bit cleaner in terms of how our partnership works. Alrighty, thank you. Moving on to the MOU for the collection of fire fees. We've discussed this previously, and it's this has to do with if there's a building permit that comes in. The fire department spends quite a bit of time, depending upon the application, to review it to ensure there's compliance. So what this MOU allows for us to do is it recognizes the fact that we're going to establish funds for the review of the permits, and any proceeds that we collect will then be distributed to the fire department. And they're not large fees, they're very reasonable. This is something that a lot of fire departments have been doing, because there is, especially with some of the larger projects, there's a lot of time and effort that's put into it to ensure that they're compliant. So this is simply to cover some of those costs.
And are these new fees?
These are new fees that Milford has implemented, correct? And how this will work is once again, we'll collect the fees, and then monthly we'll distribute that to the fire department in conjunction with their contract.
The fees are as specified on this fee schedule.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we're probably one of the few communities that is not. So this is not
Already doing it.
nothing that a contractor would not be familiar with.
Sure. Unless anybody has any additional questions, I would recommend the law director draft an ordinance authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the Milford Community Fire Department, Inc. for the collection and payment of fees as specified in the fee schedule.
Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to the Claremont County HUD. This is an agreement, it's basically a participation agreement that will be passed every 3 years. But what this essentially allows us to do is it allows for us to submit for the Community Development Block Grant Funding, so CDBG. That is a great resource for us, and the primary focus of that is benefiting low to moderate income areas. I'm not sure what we've submitted for in the past, but I know that this past year we've submitted for two or three items, one of them being Robbie Ridge, that paving, that's a $350,000 ticket item. I expect to score highly and receive some funding there, but this is essentially this allows for us to participate in the Claremont County HUD. Now, I will tie in the next item, which is the Hamilton County HUD. Milford has a portion of the city that is in the Hamilton County side. My recommendation is that we sign with Claremont County. CDBG funds can cross county lines. If we sign with Hamilton County, I don't believe that Claremont will serve the Hamilton County side, which means we're competing with all of Hamilton County municipalities. So I believe that we're more competitive with Claremont County, and the fact that it can cross the county line if we submit Milford as a whole, then we can still utilize that funding on that side if eligible. But this simply allows for us to participate in those programs.
But hadn't we received Hamilton County funds in the past?
I'm unaware of that, but
I'm pretty sure we have. Believe it or not, I was surprised, but we have.
so
Yeah.
so to that point,
Yeah.
council can easily say, hey, let's sign up for both, and
Yeah.
Claremont will stay on Claremont's side, Hamilton will stay on Hamilton's side, and it's as simple as that. It's just easier when it's not easier, but we are going to be more competitive on the Claremont side, is my personal opinion, but
When, I mean, so that's obviously a pro of going through Claremont. Is there a con to signing up to both?
the only con is if we're more competitive on the Claremont side, we will not be able to utilize those funds on the Hamilton County side because we will have signed up
in
with
both.
Hamilton
But if-
County.
But what you're saying is if we only sign up in Claremont, then the 90 or so lots that we have in Hamilton County can still benefit.
Yeah, CDBG can cross county lines.
So signing up for both would in theory then be a con because it would limit kind of what we potentially could do.
Potentially, I mean, the one pro to the Hamilton County is Hamilton County is one of the only few counties that only has Hamilton County, where we're competing with Butler, Preble, Butler, and I think it's Warren County as well. Now, the county scores our projects and then submits it to the OPWC that oversees the whole territory, so we are competing with them, but, first we're competing with our own county. So there's pros and cons to that being Hamilton County only has Hamilton County.
So your recommendation, just to make sure, because sometimes I'm a little slow, is that we only sign up for the Claremont County one?
That's my personal recommendation, but, you can go either way, and I don't think that we're gonna be harmed either way. But my recommendation is to keep it with Claremont County. We've established those relationships. I think we're gonna be far more competitive with Claremont County. We've obviously only have a small part in Hamilton County to begin with.
Do you know if it's always been that way? Because I'm pretty sure this is, when I was on council the first time, we got a Hamilton County, I don't remember what it was, but we were able to spend it wherever we wanted. We didn't have to spend it in Hamilton County. But I'm just saying, it may have changed, but
Well,
I don't know.
to be perfectly blunt, we struggled even finding these applications previously.
Yeah.
It says we're supposed to, or these participation agreements, it says that we're supposed to pass this every 3 years, and I think the closest one we found was in 2014.
Not
Uh,
surprised.
So I'm not really sure what happened. We've received it, that funding before, so I'm not really sure what happened there, but I can't confirm that.
Is there a project you could think of this would apply to? I know you said Robbie Ridge, but do you have anything in mind specifically?
Well, that's the one we submitted to this year. There's several other projects that we could apply for, infrastructure-related projects, streets you can apply for. It could be sidewalks. I mean, there's a lot of infrastructure-related projects that typically get funded out of this.
Oh, like the sidewalk to Oak Brook.
That could be one of them. The Claremont County Port, the facade improvement pilot program I discussed earlier, that is CDBG money as well. So it's for downtowns, but you still have to fit the LMI threshold.
Well, okay, yeah, I know. I thought that was interesting. It's also for historic preservation.
Yeah, that's one of the items, correct?
Yeah, and downtown revitalization.
Yeah.
But potentially that no sidewalk could become a sidewalk. There might be possible funds. And it would, probably we could get more through Claremont. You don't
It's
know.
hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would venture to say that Hamilton County gets more funding.
But they have more
But-
requests.
Correct. In bigger cities and, well, Cincinnati would be excluded because they would get a direct distribution, but all the other communities within Hamilton County, I'm not sure if there's anyone else. If you reach a certain status as a city, you get a direct distribution for CDBG.
Unless anybody has any additional questions, I would recommend the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a cooperation agreement with Claremont County to participate in the Claremont County Entitlement Program. Do we want to participate in Hamilton County too and just throw our hat in? No, we just want to stay Claremont?
Is
That's kinda what
there,
I'm
is there a time, I mean, say
Yes.
6 months from now,
Oh,
we
sorry.
want to do Hamilton County also.
We have to have it in by tomorrow.
Then, yeah,
Plenty of time, Benjamin.
Yeah.
In by
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm good.
Nice.
Well, to be fair, that wasn't me procrastinating. That was simply when the email was received in terms of when we had meetings.
Good.
But I do apologize for the short
Good
notice.
job of getting it to us tonight.
You got lucky, huh?
We'll still meet it.
Second.
Second. So we're talking about Claremont
Just
County.
Claremont
County.
County,
Claremont
right?
County only.
Okay.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the list is the opioid fund creation ordinance. This was mandated 3 years ago for our opioid funds to create a specific opioid fund account. We have previously put this in the fire and EMS accounts. Due to the fact that we're paying this out, we really need to put this in the appropriate account. So how the logistics of this will be, we'll put the opioid funds in the opioid account, and then from there, we'll write a check to the fire department to pay for the COD. So this is something that should have been done 3 years ago, and this was an oversight on our part, but we're gonna make sure that this is right and in compliance.
In the absence of any questions, I would recommend the law director draft an ordinance establishing the creation of the One Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund. Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to the appropriation change. This is a very simple, straightforward one. What you'll see is we're backing out the opioid funds from the fire and EMS account and putting it into the opioid account. There's a difference in numbers because that's the budgeted number. We don't expect to get that high within the opioid funding. So that's why it's at the 77,000. That's what we have received. And then it's the 375 for the ambulance. So that's simply paying that out.
Not seeing any questions, I would recommend that the law director draft an ordinance amending appropriation ordinances 2025-415, 26-423, 26-439, and 26-454 in the amount shown on the attached chart.
Second.
Mr. Price,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo.
Yes.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper,
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Barney.
Yes.
Thank you. Last on the list is the strategic planning discussion. I guess I've probably said it about 5 times already tonight, but my objective is now that we will hopefully have passed the tax budget, and honestly, regardless of that, I think it's important to complete a strategic planning session prior to this upcoming budget. This is an opportunity to, and I don't have the agenda exactly laid out, but it's an opportunity to discuss what our priorities are heading into next year, so that way we're building a budget around those priorities. Be an opportunity to look at that tax budget a little bit further. Depending upon when we do the actual strategic planning session, we'll have more accurate numbers with some of the items, specifically utilities. So that way we can really evaluate what we expect the revenues to be. We'll have an estimate at that point for expenses, and it's just an opportunity to look at, hey, this is where we're at now, and then going into the budget, these are the priorities for next year. We'll bring the project list, these are the projects we're looking to complete, and then it'll be a discussion to ensure we're all on the same page, and the key behind this is ensuring that it just helps with a smoother budget process, I guess to say it for the 15th time, to ensure we're all on the same page. So what I would like is either the last week in July, early August. I would like to do it sooner rather than later to ensure that we're building a budget that council's happy with. But I also recognize that it doesn't have to be tomorrow, and I'd prefer for it not to be
Why
tomorrow.
don't you send us some dates, or why don't you send us out some dates, so instead of us trying to
Yeah.
come together right
Yeah,
now?
last week of July and first week of August would be out for me because I'm not in
Yeah,
town.
I would
but
like to
I
see
would-
it closer to middle to late August.
Okay, I'm gone August 1st to the 8th.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go
Yeah.
middle to late August. I'll send some dates.
Yep.
Is to ensure that I'm not sending unnecessary dates. Are we sticking to maybe an off council week, but on a Tuesday? I've worked in some communities that like Sundays. I'm not recommending that necessarily, but they like the Sunday mornings.
Some of us work Sunday mornings.
Well, yeah, and usually I don't get a lot of people that sign up for that, but throwing that option out there.
My personal preference would be in an off council week on a Tuesday. Well, I mean, off council week, it wouldn't really matter what night of the week, but, and I'd like it to be, appropriate amount of time to let someone like me that works downtown to make it here without having to
What's the
potentially break any laws.
Just because it could be a long night, Christopher, you
Yeah.
tell us what time works.
Earliest
best.
I could get here would be 6.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, if we could start a meeting potentially, whatever night we choose.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And that's an open session.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
public meeting,
yeah.
correct?
My potential conflict would just be planning commission,
Oh, okay,
and
All right.
Ralph's my alternate, so.
all right.
Yeah.
So we're in trouble. All right.
Yeah,
So we'll avoid planning commission.
yes.
All right.
Great, so you'll get some dates out and we'll figure out a date that works for this.
There's now actually only one, but that's fine.
All right. Perfect. That is all I have on the agenda. Thank you.
All right, that takes us to public comments. Anyone have any public comments? Well, hello. Please state your name and, yeah, Blaine Miles, I believe that was his,
Kim Chamberlain, 528 Lila Avenue. And great news on our downtown pedestrian crossing becoming safer. So that's awesome. I have a question. When are the lights for the crosswalks on Main up by Jesse's and the one on Lila across from Robbie Ridge? When are they going in?
You said the lights are the crosswalks.
Yeah, like isn't there going to be a crosswalk going across?
Yes.
Yeah, lights.
That has to be completed by August 8th, if I remember. So the crosswalks at 5 Points as well as the one on Lila, that will be done in conjunction with each other.
Okay.
I believe, and I can get you this, but I believe it's August 8th is the deadline for the project, so it has to be done by then.
Okay, so sometime between now.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. And putting on my tree commission hat, when the service department fund and the street construction fund merged, the tree care budget for those two departments decreased by $2,500. I would like, I came at a perfect time, you guys are talking about budget, but I would like to suggest that we go back, add that $2,500 back into that fund. We also increased our reimbursement for tree removal earlier this year. And so it seems not the best decision to then decrease that fund. So I'm just putting that out there as a suggestion to council. Also, the sidewalk reimbursement program, that's been a longstanding program in our city. I realized that that was not funded for this year. Is that something that we're not doing anymore, or are we gonna fund it for 2027?
That'll be a budget. I mean, that'll
Okay.
certainly be a budget item.
Okay, so it's not something that's gone away?
No,
It
not to
just
my knowledge.
wasn't funded this year?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's it. Thanks.
Good evening, Rachel Richardson, live in East Milford. So I promise to make my comments more joyful this evening. I have questions regarding an agenda item, but first I want to briefly follow up on something that I had mentioned at a previous meeting. In that meeting, I encouraged council members to engage directly with residents and online community forums, including the Milford Facebook group. And I wanted to recognize Councilmember Mike Brown for doing exactly that. So on June 5th, a local mom posted concerns in our Milford neighborhood group that the splash pad surface was too slippery and that children were being injured. And more than 100 residents chimed in with similar concerns, including reports of children even needing to go to urgent care for stitches. So Councilmember Brown responded very quickly, and he assured residents that he would bring the issue to the city manager's attention. And by the following morning, the splash pad had been closed, and the city had arranged for a contractor to address the problem. And Councilmember Brown returned to the post to update the community as to the status of that. So I appreciate your responsiveness.
Thank you.
It let residents know that their concerns were being heard, and that it provided a timely information, and it helped really reassure families that the city was taking the issue seriously and addressing it promptly. And I hope that we can continue to see that kind of direct engagement between city officials and our community, because it really was exactly the kind of leadership that residents appreciate. So again, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I have a few questions about the proposed civi-social engagement or proposal. So I understand that this proposal includes specific deliverables and staff training, including even complementary training, leadership and communication training for the city manager, which I appreciate. I just want to understand a few things about the proposal a little bit better. So first, there's been some confusion among residents about what the city's communication goals actually are. So is the objective to improve resident engagement, provide timely information to residents? Is it to promote Milford as a destination, highlight tourism, something else? So I want to know, does the city have a written communication strategy or defined objectives? And if so, what are they?
I'll answer that. I think that's the whole objective of hiring them, is to come up with exactly what that social media plan is.
Okay.
He did talk about unifying goals and core messaging, identifying voice, how we communicate, essence, expression, audience, and positioning.
Okay. So this contractor will help identify what the city's communication strategy and goals should be.
Correct.
Okay. So the proposal places a significant emphasis on training city staff. So after the consultant completes the engagement, will city staff then handle things like content creation and video editing, or does the city anticipate having to hire additional staffing or outside consulting to handle that kind of work?
From my standpoint, I think that's what we'll be able to identify. I think, we obviously have some very talented people, so potentially they could do it, but I don't think, personally, I would be opposed that we might have to, expand that, outside of the purview of maybe what our staff is capable of doing.
So that's still up in the air?
It could be,
I mean, my understanding of the proposal, though, is to help current staff kind of learn how to handle
Correct.
all that. That's my understanding of the current proposal, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to speak for you guys, but my understanding is that our entire will as a council is for this to be something that's handled by in-house current staff, if at all possible, right?
Yes,
'Cause
yes.
that's the most
I like
efficient
that
way to do it.
emphasis.
Yeah.
And along those same lines, then, is that expectation that the employees who receive this training, will they then train future staff so the city can maintain the program internally without having to continue to rely on outside consultants?
I would certainly think
I would think that would be the
yeah.
intent as well, and that's one of the reasons too, we walk away with the deliverable, which is a documented social media plan at the end of this, right? Which staff that remains, right, incumbent staff would then be able not only to use the knowledge they're gonna gain from this to help train potential future staff, but we also have something in writing. If somebody comes in down the line, there's something for them to refer to.
Okay. I like that it's not totally, the knowledge is not totally vested in one consultant or one employee, because if that one employee leaves, then all that knowledge we've then invested in them leave with them. So I like that it's dispersed and spread out among employees who then train future employees, so that we continue to invest that, have that investiture remain with the city itself. And so, you mentioned the deliverables. Will that 30-page document and any other deliverable, does that belong to the city? That's
Correct.
not something we have to sign an NDA for, it's not proprietary?
Correct.
Okay. And so the city will own that strategic plan and anything else that is part of this proposal?
That is correct.
Okay. And is this supposed to be, or intended to be, a one-time engagement, or will the city anticipate future contracts with this consultant?
I see it as a one-time engagement. So
Okay.
creating that plan, and then from there, we're able to bring that internally and build off of that.
Okay. All right. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other public comments? Seeing none, can we have a motion to adjourn? Public,
Yeah, motion
meeting of the whole.
to adjourn committee of the whole and return to regular council meeting.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Takes us right to new business, the Brian Pacheco Show.
Ordinance number 26-474, an ordinance approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as part of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of Milford, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Whereas various ordinances of a general and permanent nature have been passed, which should be included in the codified ordinances of Milford, Ohio. Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the city of Milford, Ohio. Section 1, that the editing, arrangement, and numbering of those ordinances enacted by council from March 18, 2025 to March 17, 2026, is listed in the comparative section table, are hereby approved and adopted as printed in the March 2026 replacement pages for the codified ordinances of Milford, so as to achieve uniformity of style and classification. A copy of such replacement pages are attached to this ordinance and incorporated as part hereof. Section 2, the following sections of the traffic code, Traffic and General Offenses Code is amended, are hereby approved and adopted as amended or enacted so as to conform to the replacement to the enactment of the Ohio General Assembly. Such sections are set forth in full in the March 2026 replacement pages. There are the old and new pages and the specific parts that I'm not going to read that are set forth in the ordinance. Section 3, this ordinance is deemed and declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, and safety, and for the reason that it is necessary to immediately update the Milford codified ordinances to align with recent changes to the revised code enacted by the General Assembly to facilitate administration and daily operation and also avoid practical and legal entanglements.
Oh, that was the end of it. Sorry, I was so hanging off of
Yeah.
every word there.
I know.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
You'd be the only one.
That's usually the case, Brian.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-474, an ordinance approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as part of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of Milford, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Just so council understands as well that that ordinance also updates it when the General Assembly makes changes to the revised code that are concomitant or concordant with the Milford Code of Ordinances. So we're just adopting those changes from the General Assembly to make that consistent. All right, resolution number 26-680, a resolution authorizing the tax budget for the city of Milford, Ohio for the tax year 2027. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1, that the 2027 tax budget submitted by the city finance director shall be and hereby is adopted and approved. Section 2, under and in accordance with Section 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage by city council.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-481, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 3 high-service VFD from Techline Company for $42,690. Section 1, now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1, the Council of the City of Milford, Ohio hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into a professional services contract agreement with Techline Company to purchase 3 high-speed VFD for the Water Department for $42,690. The terms and conditions of said agreement are hereby incorporated herein by reference in their entirety pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by city council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only. Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-481, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 3 high-service VFD from Techline Company for $42,690.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-480, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to spend an amount not to exceed $13,995 for costs associated with the State Route 28 water main emergency repair costs. Whereas the city of Milford experienced an unexpected water line break on the State Route 28 water line that required emergency repair, now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. City Council hereby authorizes the city manager to pay the costs associated with the emergency repair of the State Route 28 water line, recognizing the immediate and necessary need for the emergency repairs, including the authority to pay any of the bills associated with the project in an amount not to exceed $13,995. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only. Second.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-480, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to spend an amount not to exceed $13,995 for costs associated with the State Route 28 water main emergency repair costs.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-483, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a professional service agreement with Civic Social not to exceed $20,000 to create a social media optimization program. Section 1, the Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into a professional service agreement with Civic Social not to exceed $20,000 to help build a sustainable staff-led social media and communication plan per the attached agreement. The terms and conditions of this agreement are hereby incorporated by reference pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only. Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-483, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a professional services agreement with Civic Social not to exceed $20,000 to create a social media optimization program.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-484, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter a professional service agreement with Bricker, Grade, and Wyatt for legal services to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Section 1, the council of the city of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into an agreement with Bricker, Grade, and Wyatt to provide professional legal services for the Board of Zoning Appeals in an amount not to exceed $11,577.50. Section 2, under and in accordance with sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by city council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-484, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter a professional service agreement with Bricker, Grade, and Wyatt for legal services for the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
That a second time yet? I didn't think so, thank you. Ordinance number 26-484, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a professional service agreement with Bricker, Grade, and Wyatt for legal services for the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yeah.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
I have to
Miss-
abstain.
Right.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. I wanted to go back to the last one. We did, going back to the prior one, 26-483, we did, I got lost in my head, I apologize. We did do that both, right? We did the two readings. Thank you
Yes.
very much. Ordinance number 26-482, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Rumpke Waste, Inc. for solid waste collection and recycling services. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to renew the agreement with Rumpke Waste, Inc. to provide solid waste and recycling collection services from August 1, 2026 through July 31, 2027. The terms and conditions of this contract are fully incorporated herein in their entirety as if fully rewritten herein pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-482, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Rumpke Waste, Inc. for solid waste collection and recycling services.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-487, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to purchase one Chevy Equinox plus necessary outfitting for use by the Milford Police Department. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The city manager is hereby authorized to purchase a Chevy Equinox from Tim Lally Chevrolet for the police department at a cost not to exceed $29,772 per the attached quote. The quote is fully incorporated by reference under and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. To outfit these vehicles for police use, the city manager is further authorized to purchase a general upfitting from Public Safety Equipment for $6,000. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yeah.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-487, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to purchase one Chevy Equinox plus necessary outfitting for use by the Milford Police Department.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-475, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a power cot and load system by the Milford Community Fire Department for $71,526.32. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford, Ohio hereby authorizes the city manager to give the Milford Community Fire Department $71,526.32 from the One Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund to purchase a power cot and load system for installation in a new ambulance from Stryker Medical. Terms and conditions of the Stryker Medical Agreement are hereby incorporated herein by reference in their entirety pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 3 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
I would just reiterate Power Cotton Load System, great name for a band, but motion to suspend the rules and read by title only. Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
There's an old hair band called Stryker. Ordinance number 26-475, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a power cot and load system by the Milford Community Fire Department for $71,532, excuse me.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Proposed intermission. Ordinance number 26-479, an ordinance authorizing a memorandum of understanding with and authorizing a contribution of $375,000 to the Milford Community Fire Department, Inc. for the purchase of an ambulance. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into and execute a memorandum of understanding with the Milford Community Fire Department, Inc. to allow the city to provide funds for the purchase of an ambulance. Terms and conditions of this MOU are fully incorporated herein by their entirety as if fully written herein pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, the Council of the City of Milford, Ohio hereby authorizes the city manager to contribute to the Milford Community Fire Department $375,000 from the Fire EMS Tax Levy Fund to purchase an ambulance under the MOU. Section 3, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only. Second.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-479, an ordinance authorizing a memorandum of understanding with and authorizing a contribution of $375,000 to the Milford Community Fire Department, Inc. for the purchase of an ambulance.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-477, an ordinance authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the Milford Community Fire Department, Inc. for collection and payment of fees. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into and execute a memorandum of understanding with the Milford Community Fire Department to allow the city to collect fees on behalf of and to remit the collections to MCFD, the fire department. The terms and conditions of this MOU are fully incorporated herein in their entirety as if fully written herein pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only. Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-477, an ordinance authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the Milford Community Fire Department, Inc. for collection and payment of fees.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-486, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a cooperation agreement with Claremont County to participate in the Claremont County Entitlement Program, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into a cooperation agreement with the Claremont County to participate in the Claremont County Entitlement Program. The terms and conditions of this agreement are hereby incorporated by reference pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only. Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-486, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a cooperation agreement with the Claremont County to participate in the Claremont County Entitlement Program.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-478, an ordinance establishing the creation of the One Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1, the Council of the City of Milford hereby establishes and creates the One Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund 216, the purpose of which is to account for receipts of the settlement and expenses incurred for approved purposes of the MOU. Section 2, under and in accordance with sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ordinance number 26-478, an ordinance establishing the creation of the One Ohio Settlement Fund, Opioid Settlement Fund.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
That's it. Mayor, if I may just briefly with,
What about
I'm
the
sorry.
appropriations?
Amending appropriation. Should
Oh,
be
you
ordinance
already did.
26-476.
I skipped it. Thank you very much.
Can't get off that easy.
No, you cannot. All right, sorry about that, council. And ordinance number, clearly, some of us have been out of practice for a month. Ordinance number 26-476, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinances 2025-415, 26-423, 26-439, and 26-454. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the City Finance Director to amend appropriation ordinances 2025-415, 26-423, 26-439, and 26-454 by increasing or decreasing the individual items as set forth and listed in the chart attached hereto and fully incorporated herein as provided in section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Said amendments total $444,146.62. Section 2, under and in accordance with sections 11.05 and 12.05 of the Milford City Charter. This ordinance requires only one reading and shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Did I hear you request to come in during the summer on non-meeting nights so
No,
you can read
maybe-
ordinances
maybe
so you
someone
don't
needs
get
to
rusty?
practice, yes, exactly.
Motion to adopt, because it only needs one read.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Barney?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
All right.
Now, Mayor, just briefly with your indulgence, I did want to wish Benjamin and Jessica the best. And I look forward in 24 years working with Mr. Gunderman's son as the new city manager somewhere when I'll be 81 or 82 and he'll be 24.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Okay, other old business, since we don't
Sorry.
have another meeting, and Chief, National Night Out, August 4th. I would just want to make sure we brought that up here briefly.
Yes, thank you. I realized I forgot that as soon as I sat down. Tuesday, August 4th, down at Walmart, and the hours are about the same.
6 to 8, I believe.
6 to 8, I
Yeah,
think, is what
yeah.
we're going to do.
All
So
right,
thank
yeah.
you, appreciate
So,
that.
so if you've never had an opportunity, that's a wonderful event. And also a reminder, our next meeting will not be, our regular scheduled meeting will not be till August 18th. So we get a little summer break, so Benjamin can have a baby and, everything else. So I'm not sure how we time that, but, the timing's probably pretty good. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Have a great evening.
I want to see post delivery.